Title: He Forgot My Birthday, but He Remembered Hers. Told from the wife's point of view, he used to bring me coffee in bed just because. He used to kiss my forehead before leaving for work. He once cried when I surprised him on his birthday with plane tickets to Italy. But somewhere along the years, the little things stopped. The kisses faded, the laughter quieted. I thought it was life, stress, kids, routine. Until one day, I woke up on my birthday to silence. No note, no kiss, no happy birthday, babe. Just an empty bed and a calendar reminder blinking on his laptop. Dinner reservation, her name, 7:30 p.m. Her name was not mine. My name wasn't even mentioned. And that was the moment I knew I wasn't losing him. I'd already lost him. This is the story of how I found the truth piece by painful piece, of how I pretended not to know, of how I smiled, served dinner, folded laundry, while another woman lived in my husband's heart. This isn't a revenge story. It's not even a love story. It's a story about awakening, about what happens when the woman everyone overlooks finally looks at herself and chooses to walk away. He forgot my birthday, but he remembered hers. We met at a bookstore. Classic, I know. I was standing in front of the fiction section, reading the back of a Margaret Atwood novel. He made a joke about how every guy should be afraid of dating a woman who reads Atwood. I laughed. We started talking, and 2 years later we were married. His name is Daniel, 38, architect, quiet, clever, dependable, the kind of man who builds you a home and keeps his promises. I'm Claire, 36. I teach high school English. I used to tell my students that love was choosing the same person over and over, even on the hard days. We were married for 11 years. We have 2 kids, a dog named Piper, a house filled with light, photographs, and for a long time, laughter. But you don't notice when laughter fades. Not at first. It doesn't leave with a bang. It slips away in silence. I remember the first shift. Daniel stopped texting me during the day. He used to send me little things, a meme, a quote, a quick "I miss you." That stopped. He came home later, brushed off my questions with a tired smile, said work was piling up. He started going to the gym again, started dressing better. He lost weight, grew a beard, looked different, good, but distant. I blamed myself. Maybe I wasn't trying hard enough. Maybe I'd let myself go. Maybe I was boring. So I started wearing makeup again. I cooked his favorite meals. I asked about his day even when he didn't ask about mine. And then came my birthday. I woke up expecting flowers or pancakes in bed like we always did. Instead, I woke up alone. He was already gone. No note, no text. I told myself maybe he was planning something. Maybe he was being sneaky. But when I opened his laptop, looking for a recipe, I saw it. Calendar invite. Dinner, Victoria, 7:30 p.m. Le Jardin est Victoria. I stared at the name for a long time. My hands were shaking, my throat dry. I clicked into the entry. There were no details, but there didn't need to be. He hadn't forgotten my birthday. He had replaced it. I waited. I didn't confront him that day. I needed to be sure, so I followed him. I told him I was taking the kids to my sister's. I dropped them off. Then I drove to Le Jardin, parked across the street, watched him walk in, wearing the shirt I bought him for our anniversary. She showed up 10 minutes later, tall, red hair, smiling like she'd known him forever. He stood up, kissed her cheek, touched her lower back like he used to do with me. They ordered wine, laughed, leaned in, his face lit up. And I died a little inside. I didn't cry until I got home. I locked myself in the bathroom, turned on the shower so the kids wouldn't hear, and crumbled to the floor. The next few weeks were a blur. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't confront him. I became a ghost in my own house, smiling for the kids, cooking dinner, folding his clothes. But I was somewhere else entirely. He didn't know I knew. One night, I sat in bed next to him reading. He reached for my hand. I let him hold it, and I hated myself for how much I still wanted to believe in us. Then, 3 weeks later, I found the second message. This time, he left his phone on the counter. It buzzed. I glanced. "I miss you already. Last night was magic." Victoria. That night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, I made the kids breakfast, packed their lunches, kissed their heads. Then I looked at him, really looked, and I realized I was done begging to be seen. "We need to talk," I said. He looked up, startled. "What's wrong?" I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just said it. "I know about her. And I know about you, and I'm not doing this anymore." He stared at me like I'd just spoken in a foreign language. I walked out of the kitchen, packed a bag, called my sister. It wasn't easy. The kids had questions. There were nights I cried myself to sleep, but with every day that passed, I came back to life. I remembered who I was before I became a woman begging for crumbs. Now, a year later, I smile again. Not because someone else gives me a reason, but because I found the strength to choose myself. This wasn't a story about revenge, it was about truth. And the moment I stopped waiting to be loved and started loving myself.